I'm just saying, not all dog food tastes bad. I mean, there is some that could be good. You know what I'm saying? And I think we should review it.
I'm not going to review that. And no, that's fucking nasty. And second of all, there's a dog food, cat food shortage going around in my grocery store, and quite frankly, I can't fuck with the cat's meals like that. It's just not possible.
I'm
That
not
bitch
talking
wakes me up at 6:30 in the morning. My alarm is set for 7. She loves that shit. Can't do it. Can't eat it. Did you know? Hey, speaking of eating cat food. Oh, and hello everyone. Um, Speaking of eating cat food, did you know in this state, this has stuck with me all this time, that mountain climbers, people who just live in a van and climb mountains, don't do anything else, eat cat food?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I think that's a thing.
Sometimes. No,
I
all the time.
like. I've heard of people doing that. Like, it's like cheaper to buy a can of cat food. But then, like, is it really cheaper to buy a can of cat food than it is, like, let's just say a can of chili or something like that? You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
probably made in the same plant anyway.
yeah, because I've been camping and eaten a can of cold chili or beans or something.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
it's kind of weird, but it's not like, you know, it's not that weird.
yeah, but beans aren't ground up chicken necks or anything. So
No.
there's that.
Mm.
You know.
Bagak.
Well, well, hey everybody. Hi there. Didn't see you come in. Just kidding. Alex, when it started about talking about eating fucking cat food, dog, sampling. We're trying to figure out how to get rich on YouTube, and so we landed on let's try out dog food, because obviously to be famous on YouTube or the internet or TikTok or any of that, you have to do something really obvious over and over and over again to get a bunch of followers. Because if it's complicated, I don't know how many people are gonna follow you. But if you're eating
Yeah.
canned dog food or some shit, people might follow you.
Yeah, I mean, like, we brought that up and I could tell you didn't want to talk about it, so I decided that we should talk about it at the beginning.
That's fine. Let's just,
Um,
but well, real quick. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of This Is the Future.
Unfortunately.
Fucking A. Nasty fucking shit.
Like a lot of dog food, not wet dog food, just dry dog food. Some of it, it's just like I've tasted dog biscuits before. It's just like cookies without sugar in it. A lot of it. Like, like blueberry fucking cranberry, like dog treats or something like that. Like you get the natural ones, peanut butter. Just tastes like cookies without sugar in it.
Yeah, but there's a dog on the pic. There's a dog on the front cover, man. So I'm not there yet. But maybe one day if shit keeps getting bad, I'll get into it.
The picture of the dog is what throws you
It
off.
fucks me up. Yeah, if someone's just like, here's a cookie that looks like a dog biscuit, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, but let's say this: if you go into like a restaurant that's like well known for like chicken, and then they have a chicken mascot holding a bucket of chicken, that doesn't weird you out. You know what I mean?
Because it's not for chickens. Because chickens don't eat chickens.
But see the mascot. There's that all the time. There's like a frozen fish brand that has like, it's like a fish holding a fish stick. Like that's weird, right?
It is weird, but that means I'm eating that fish. I'm not eating the same food that fish eats. When you see a golden retriever with a fake smile, like, that's his food. It's not for me. If there's an owner behind him, it's just because they're saying owners buy this shit for their dogs. They're not saying both these assholes in this picture eat this shit. And I'm not doing it. That's fucking nasty. But the cat food thing, that pate, it's like silly putty.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine like rock climbing all day and you're like, hey, Daryl, throw me another can? Like, oh, I caught it. Fuck. And just, here we go.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different thing, man.
But that's fucked up, man. Somebody sponsor these people. Give them some money. Get sponsored by Lunchables. It's like a step up from a can of cat food, half a step.
Speaking of cat food, how are you? How are you, Tony?
I'm well. I'm getting hot by the minute. Then I hear you're not hot. I mean, you're hot, but you're not hot.
No, I'm not hot. I'm pretty cool.
What are you guys getting, a break?
I'm chill. I'm chill. I'm chill as a cucumber, man. Fucking
Today.
today. Yeah.
It'll be hot
Yeah.
as
I
a
mean,
sweaty
it's like
pickle tomorrow.
it's under 70 degrees right now. It's like 67 degrees as we speak. And
I I read
so,
an article where someone was trying to turn off the fountains because you guys are having a water shortage, and
we are.
the city said, "Fuck that."
I didn't know. It can't be that much of a shortage. I had no idea. So
I'm like a modern old man. I don't read a newspaper. I just flip through Google in the morning. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Yep, that's interesting, and I keep going. That's what I read.
well, see, here's the thing: is I've on purpose don't pay attention to news or anything like that.
Yeah, I
Make
don't
it.
watch the news. I just read that garbage. I'm really bored. And between
I'm,
that and shit on Instagram, I mean, Instagram's fine, but there's not really a ton of lies on there. And I like good lies in the morning, at least lies mixed with truth. So let's see what Google and all those guys have for me. Some of it's really
yeah,
bad.
I told my dad that I don't watch the news, and it kind of blew his mind.
I
You know, you
my
know.
dad stopped.
Oh, really?
Yep. Fucking finally. Jesus. It wasn't helping. It's like, dude, get on the news or stop watching it. Shut the
Right.
fuck up.
It just gets to the point. It's just like one negative thing after another. Negative, 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 negative. It's like that Bill Hicks joke, you know?
Oh yeah.
It's like I forget exactly what it is, but I understand. I remember the point of it, you know?
Right. He's like, every day you watch the news, it's all negativity. War, famine, AIDS, death. War, and famine, AIDS, death. He's like, then you open your window. It's like, you're making this shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. I was at the bar, well, at a restaurant yesterday, and then the TV was on, and we're all watching it because that's what you do in a shitty bar. You watch the TV, and it was all negative. And then finally, they said something kind of positive. I was like, oh, we should all drink. I forgot that my cousin's like he's sober, so I was like, we shouldn't. Never mind.
You should. You
Bad
should.
idea.
I will.
We had iced tea and lemonade, so we did that.
Mhm.
Shots of iced tea, the unsweetened type.
Oh, nice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, man. I saw Andrew Dice Clay yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Like like at it, like you saw him walking, or you
No,
saw?
man. I saw him
Like,
live.
oh, whoa.
It was fucking
Okay.
awesome. I mean, these are like, this is the end of that era.
Hmm.
Like there's some out there, but I don't think the next generation's gonna be as edgy. Um, but he was somewhat, he wasn't too rude, which was cool. Like each one of them up there, it was Eleanor Kerrigan, who was his usual opener, and then Nick DeBetta, but that's not how you pronounce his name, but he's the guy that had the video like yelling about coffee that made the internet popular for 5 minutes. Coffee, can I get some coffee? Where's the coffee? He just yelled coffee for 3 minutes, and it got him out there. He was the middler, and then Dice came out, and then all three of them were good. Eleanor is pretty popular around here. She's big. If you know Dice, you know her now because they do show on Facebook together. But funny, man, it was a weird. This is what got me. It wasn't the show. When we went there, it was this place called Soul Joel's.
Soul Joel's. What is that?
Soul Joel's. Obviously a white guy. I mean, seriously. He's like, hey, everybody, I'm Joel. I'm like, there's nothing soulful about you, brother. Not a fucking thing. And this is no shit, man. You get the directions to the place, and you go over the railroad tracks and bang a hard right, and you're there. There's one of those big white tents, looks like an airplane hangar,
Hmm.
and they put that up. They threw down sand. They put up a fence. There's a river right behind it. There's railroad tracks over here, and you just park your shit and go in the venue. I mean, we could do this. I mean, I was upset. There was no food. There was no booze. It was just like they didn't give a shit. It was like
No
sit down
boo.
and bring your own chairs. So people were just bringing coolers. It was like,
Outside?
yeah, yeah. It was outside and an open air. Both ends of the tent were open. It was fucking hot, but
Huh.
whatever. So yeah, it was a beautiful idea. And here's the best part. He must have had 15 to 20 sponsors with those vinyl signs.
Yeah.
And they were everywhere on the stage and on the side. And the one comic, Nick, said, I had thought about this while he was up there, but he got it. He was like, I feel like I'm Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and I'm surrounded by fucking business cards. It was like that. It was great. But it was a brilliant idea. I'm like, they're not paying for food. They're not paying for a liquor license. They're not paying for seats. And all their sponsors probably pay whatever their insurance is. So it was really a thrown together show. But I guess Dice came out in February and helped them kick it off. But best part, while the comics are up there, the freight train goes by. It went by twice.
I was going to ask you that, because when you said it was outside next to train tracks, that was my first fucking thought.
Yep.
Was, what about the train?
It went by twice. It went by when Nick was on stage and went by when fucking Dice was on stage. And Dice wasn't even a smart ass about it. He's like, this is the best fucking venue ever. I promise you that doesn't happen anywhere else at any fucking club. And I was like, I believe you. I really do believe you. I mean, there's some shitholes out there, but this is not a shithole. It's cool, man. It's just,
how many people were there?
At least I'd say probably 1,000.
Whoa.
For a Wednesday night. He's doing tonight, tomorrow night. He's all the way through Saturday.
Okay, so it was a big fucking tent.
I mean, no shit. That like Nick DeBetta said, he's like, you could fight. This is an airplane hangar. It's pretty big. Yeah, I'd say like the ones that have concerts in and shit at festivals. Yeah.
How do they organize bring your own chairs? And there's, like you said, about 1,000 people there. How was that not a mess?
Alex, you and I could do this. I'm telling you. Here's what they did. They took people probably left chairs. This is what it looked like when I went in there. They probably had like 300-400 people in there. We had a really good spot. We're like halfway in. But you walk in and it looked like they took a bunch of found old chairs, like found camping chairs, because they were all different colors. And they made one row, like all the way down, all the way back. I mean, and they just said, go, and they just parked your ass. I mean, you know, it was a bunch of mostly white people. So of course they turned their chairs around. They brought their wine glasses and shit. It was real extra. Whatever. In any case, like the one thing I understood that no one else seemed to understand was there needs to be a way in and out of this fucking mess. So you can take a piss. Nobody got that. So I got to look at a few kneecaps and shit. You know, people, excuse me. Like, you just passed me twice. That's not how this works. You're doing circles. Get out of here. Like, whatever. You're not supposed to keep going around me. This isn't duck, duck, goose. Get the fuck out. But yeah, it was so hot that I drank like 5 bottles of water on the way to the show. It was an hour away. I drank a lot of water. And I was like, I'll go piss before the show. And I went to the porta potty, and the porta potty's bouncing around. And I'm like, everyone's looking at this porta potty jumping around. So I'm shaking my dick like, come on, let's do this. And my dick's like, I got nothing. Nothing at all. All that water just got sucked right out of my body. I was so deep. I was like, when I finally went pee later, it was mellow yellow, man. I was like, holy shit. Like, it was hot as fuck. It gets sucked right out of your pores. So that's one thing I've learned. If it's really hot, don't worry about going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a diaper, nothing.
Yeah, you don't need to pee. You'll sweat it out, you know?
It's not great. Still a cool show, man. We could have done that. That was it. It was just a tent, some sand. They didn't have, I mean, they had a food truck that left before the show started. Like, he ran out of seafood crab cakes or whatever the fuck he was doing. He left. Just like, that's it. It's like, there's a lot of money to be made here. A lot of food trucks. I don't know if you need a liquor license, but it was BYOB. Everyone.
If it's BYOB, you do not need. In Oregon, you do not. But
right, and I probably don't need one here either. The whole fucking point. But if you had a liquor license,
then you could sell it. But like,
make a shitload of money. Like, yeah, just selling $10 Coors Light, whatever.
How was Dice though?
He was good. It was kind of like I've never seen him before. People who were there had seen him a bunch, and my honest review, I would say like 6.5 out of 10. Just being real. He's got jokes. He's some funny shit. The funniest thing he said on there was, he's like, I'm not saying I'm smart. No one ever came up to me and said, hey, Dice, where'd you go to college? I was like, that's fucking funny. Like, I like that. But there wasn't, it was good. It was, the one thing, it wasn't even him that pissed me off. It was the end of the show. I've liked him a lot, actually. I like his style. I like the writing. No one's going to come close to Carlin. Like, no one's going to, like, maybe Nick, I like that. You know what I like? I like someone saying it, fucking giving it to you. And he gave you a little bit, but he played it safe. He didn't give it, he didn't like, he's had some clever shit, but nothing too like, whoa. Like Carlin had mind blowing shit, and I compare everybody to him. But
Well, I
good
mean,
on stage. Had it like I liked his stage presence. He came out there, the little tool bag with him, and he had his own fucking mic and all this shit, you know. And but at the end, there was some dickheads in the crowd, and the one person, like right at the end, he's doing some shit, riffing on some stuff. See, there was a pregnant woman up front, and so half the show it was about kids and how he kept telling her man, he's like, get the fuck out of there. He's like, I got 20 grand in my pocket. Get the fuck out of here. He's like, I'll let you fucking. He's like, if you take this money and go screw her sister, and then, like that's it. I'll give you 20 grand if you go screw her sister right now and leave this chick. It was crazy. I was like, holy fuck, this doesn't work everywhere.
he's talking to the guy. He's talking to her guy.
Yeah, there's a guy and a girl at the front, and he's like, listen, that's your woman? He's like, I got 20 grand in my pocket. I'll give it to you if you fuck her sister and get out of there. It was a lot like that. But at the end of his set, somebody says, like one of the nursery rhymes, yells out a nursery rhyme, like Little Bo Peep or some shit. And he's like, I'm fucking getting to it. And then someone yells, and then right before he goes into him, someone yells, boo! And I was like, and what pissed me, maybe he didn't hear it, and maybe he was probably, at that point, he was probably done. Anyway, he was done. But it's like he does that as his closer, like every time. He just does a few of those and gets the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, some asshole yelled that, and I actually was like this. I was like, motherfucker! I was like, I will eat your soul. Shut the fuck up. Everyone else is like, they're the nursery rhymes. And here's the thing with the nursery rhymes. Nobody laughed because everyone knows them. It was weird. Like I laughed, but he did them in such a quick cadence. It was like watching Willie Nelson do his 20-minute set. It was insane. It was like just really fast. He was like,
right, yeah.
It was like so fast, like you could tell he was leaving. He's done. Like this is it. And everyone was just saying along with him. Like, it was just like, la, 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 oh, la, 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 oh. It was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I never seen these live, but whatever. It was cool. It was just weird that, like, at the end, he's just like, all right, here's your jokes, fuck off, I'm out. Right. It was like, that's what they, like, dude, his other shit was better. Like, I know the nursery rhymes are cool, but this shit he's riffing on up here was funny. So I didn't think the crowd was kind of ignorant towards the end, but hey, that's crowds. So.
Yeah, and it's a nostalgia kind of thing, It's like he's always gonna do them because people expect that, It's like he probably doesn't have anything invested in that, in the nursery rhymes, It's he does them because people expect him to, and it kind of. Dice Clay is awesome and he's a legend in his own right, but it's not like he's not like Carlin, like you're saying.
He's not chasing it down.
And I'm not talking about style. I'm talking about as far as status.
Status, he's not that. Well, and Carlin still had something to say. Like even when he was on he was still writing, he was still pissed off. He still had things to say. So when you saw him do his shit, it was all new. Like 97% of it was new shit. Yeah. And he wasn't fucking around. I mean, you go see him every 2 years and he'll give it to you new and it'll be current and it'll make sense and it'll fucking make you feel a little bit better, make you breathe a little bit better. Not a lot of comics. I mean, Bill Burr is a lot like that, but he's next, in my opinion, he's the next one. But he made some fucking jokes about Louis C.K. and it was more like on Louis' side, so to speak. He was just like, listen, he was like, if Brad Pitt or George Clooney had whipped their dick out, the women would have been applauding. It's like, but he's fucking ugly. Ugly people can't jerk off on people like that. It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna get in trouble. And it was like, he's like, plus he's like, I know his problem. He doesn't have a last name. Before CK, it was just, that's it. It was like he had nothing else. Then he finally came up with the CK. Yeah, it was good, man. I did dig it. I just thought at the end it was like when they yelled that out, he had two choices. He could have given them what they wanted, or he could have went for the throat. And I would have rather him go the other way. Yeah,
Right.
and then give him the fucking jokes. But in it, you know what I mean? Just some spice. But as soon as it was over, he was nowhere to be found. I didn't even see his Escalade leave or whatever they came in. It was gone. He was gone fast. So it was like,
Right.
I'm out. Bye. So yep, he's doing his thing. He's lucky he still has 1,000 people that'll come out on a fucking Wednesday night to see him. That's why you're doing comedy at that age, if you're still telling those old jokes and shit. It's because you're you know, you're playing the hits.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure most of his act is not the old shit, but like
No,
he
it's
just,
pretty fresh.
you know, it's just like he does that, like it's, you know, he's playing the, you know, the one, you know, he's playing the one Beatles song that everyone wants to hear that they wrote in the fucking 70s or 60s or whatever, and they play that just so people like it, you know what I mean?
Right. They give him, but yeah, the rest of the show was his. He talked about Caitlyn Jenner, and what he got down to at the end was he said he was just basically, he's like, I fucked uglier women. We all have. And I was just like, fucking A. It's like he hit him, but he didn't go like in on them. You know what I mean? It was like he went back in on himself, which is what you know, that's the best way to play it. And it was cool to see that. It was like, right on, man, good. It wasn't a whole, like there was some things I had these people right behind me. I felt like I was on a moped up front and some bitch was on the back. She's like, I'm like, God damn it, fuck. But every time she had an opinion, she was like, ooh. I'm like, Jesus, what are you cooking bacon back there? What's all this sizzling shit going on? Did you fucking relax? You could just hear everything she was saying. I hear her scratching her ankle. Just I'm like, you're way too close. I kept moving up and I felt like she was getting closer. So I had her opinions with like every joke. I'm like, yeah, this bitch likes it. That's good. One problem. Well, you go to a comedy club, as soon as you sit down at a comedy club, there's like, you know how there's a little table with 4 seats and then they turn them and they put you and your partner, like if it's a group of 2, they put you 2 together at the back of that little table. You're sitting there like, oh, this ain't bad. And right before the show starts, here comes big and bigger to sit right down in front of you. Like, boom. Like, why are they at our fucking table? And why can I smell his fucking leather vest? You're too close. Get out of here. It's like, nope, they're sitting there. Like when you and I went to that fucking Tommy Chong show, remember that? And we were there. We got there late. We were high as fuck. And we're like, we'll sit in the back. It'll be great. Like,
right up front.
Yeah. I mean, that table, like the table, the center, front and center table, they put us there. And we're like, fuck. So we kind of had to fake it on some of the punchlines. Like, that's not funny.
Well, and also we were fucking high as eagle tits. So, you know. We might have just been like laughing, so we didn't like seem like too fucking high.
No one called us out at that show. Like even Tommy didn't know we were. He didn't know he was there, so it was great.
Yeah, that wasn't a very very good show. He's not very good. I mean, he's cool. It's good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not trying to bang on anybody, but
I'm just saying. I was just like, well, I mean, he's a legend in his own way, like Dice Clay, but I don't know. I've heard people say exactly what you said about Dice Clay, how he's still really funny, and like my friend Alan has seen Andrew Dice Clay and probably his opener. I think that they tour together a lot because he had like an opener, and he was like, she was really funny.
Yep.
And he said that when he saw Dice Clay, she opened. And she said something that made the crowd go, ooh. And she was like, shut the fuck up. I'm just out here fingering you. Dice Clay's going to come out here and fuck you.
Fuck you. And he's going to fuck you. She said that last night. Same thing. But when whatever. But when she came out, this is where things were different. If you look, I follow the Comedy Store on Instagram because I'm really bored. and they show the set list every night who's playing the main room. She's on that list like 3-4 nights a week.
Nice.
So that's saying something. She's up there with everybody else. She definitely lives in LA, but she's from South Philly, and
Okay.
she let you know right away. The only thing that was interesting was she came out with like 17 fuck yous and a shit in the first 30 seconds. And it was just like, damn. I mean, she talked about like her pussy, like I mean, like right up front. Like the first joke was like a I was like, God damn. Well, here we are. Like, you broke all the rules. You're not even going to ease into it. And like half the time, she did find a chick in a fucking Cowboys shirt. So that was funny. Because when she kept coming out, she was like, that's cute. Take it the fuck off. And I was like, it was just, she kept coming out like, I'm going to kill you, bitch. It was like, they really get away with some stuff out here. You can't do this in Oregon. Doesn't fucking work. I've tried. Doesn't work. They don't get it. They get freaked out.
It's a regional thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We're used to being told to go fuck ourselves around here. We did that on the way to the venue, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it was neat. I was happy to see him. It's off my bucket list now. The next person I want to see live is Bill Burr.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Bill Burr.
And then one other person I want to see is they're both coming through. But Lewis Black. It's always been on my list. I want to see those two because I still see myself kind of like, somewhere in the middle of yelling and being really fucking clever like Bill Burr. So
I never got into Lewis Black. I tried to. It never hooked me. It was never.
I don't want to spend a lot of money. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to spend a lot of money.
Sure.
Like, I'm not $100 ticket. I'm not. I don't want to spend a whole lot of money on comedy. I don't know why. Maybe because we've done it or that kind of thing. But
sure.
I don't know. You can catch most of it on the internet. You can piece it together.
Yeah, I mean, if there's someone I really want to see, I definitely would go.
I want to see Bill Burr because he was working on a bunch of new shit at the Comedy Store, and now he's going on the road, and he's coming around here somewhere. But I don't know. We'll wait. There's too much shit out there. I've already lined up to see a few concerts, so that's good. But anyway, man, that was we did a show a few days ago, but that was pretty much my main thing. But it was a lot of fun. If any of you guys out there listening know who the Dice Clay is, and he's coming through, he's playing a lot in the Northeast. Check him out if you're into it. Now's a good time, especially if he's playing at a farm or some shit. It's cheaper. I mean, I'm a value guy, so same jokes. Might as well get a good price on them. But yeah, that was fun. So how was your week, man? The last couple of days?
It's good, pretty mellow. Nothing. So I'm still trying to work out with my friend. We're doing. I think I told you we're doing boxing once a week.
Yeah.
And I skipped a week because I went to my brother's house and we did a workout, and it was he picked the workout, he made it up or whatever, found the workout online, and man, it really kicked my fucking ass. I'm whew, sore. And yeah, it was good. He I think he found an old boxing trick, how a training thing, took a piece of 2x4 and hooked it to his wall in his garage, and then took this metal, it looks like a metal circle, it's called a flange.
Yeah.
Drilled that to it and then put a pipe in it. So it's like a metal circle with a pipe sticking out the middle, right? So what he did is took a pool noodle, one of those styrofoam pool noodles. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Cut it in half and put it on there, and then you box that. You do hooks and uppercuts. And at first I was like, yeah, that's cute. You slapping a noodle around, whatever, that's cool. And then got into it, did timed rounds, 3-minute round here, 3-minute round there, and then ended with 3-4-minute rounds. And then after a while, my arms just felt like they were nothing. They felt like they were noodles.
Right.
I'm like,
Well, that's a long fucking time to be swinging and moving your body around like that repetitively. 3 minutes.
It was we did it did a lot. All in all, it would have been out there was 4 3-minute rounds and then 4 2-minute rounds. So all in all, it was like eight rounds of this and jump roping too. And then afterwards, we have these he has these mitts, like
Yep.
one person holds the mitts. That was pretty cool because we held the mitts for each other and like, it was like I've never done that before, so it was kind of fun.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then this fucking sore, really fucking sore, and and I have this fucking thought. I'm like, fucking working out sucks. It's not good for you. And plus, I get home, and I'm like, fucking, I'm so tired. I'm hungry. I'm like really hungry because I just like worked out for an hour and a half, and then I just end up eating a lot, and I just like ruined everything that I just did. And I'm like, working out's bad for you. See, this is bad for you. I'm sore. I probably got fatter.
Well, I mean, if you're eating like chunk, like spraying fucking whipped cream in your mouth and shit when you're done, then yeah, it's no good for you. Depends on what you're doing.
I would say it's not junk, but it's not like I was eating like, fucking salads or anything. It was like a
salads.
like
more than one.
Yeah,
I get 2 salads, please.
Yeah, who eats one salad?
Love lettuce. I love it.
Salads.
No matter what you're doing, you're gonna have more than one. That's all we know.
Salad.
So hungry.
Salads.
I get 6
salads
Caesars.
And salads with a Z at the end, not an S. Salads.
Yeah, I tried to find out more music news so I could bum you out again because I thought that was really funny the last show when I was able to tell you that your tour had been rescheduled for Deftones and you didn't know, but I haven't found anything else yet.
I was so bummed out about that. I haven't even checked. I was like, I don't even want to look at it. I want to forget about it.
The only bands that are really doing it this year, in my opinion, are those that need it. Where it all works out and they really fucking need it. I knew because Ween's going on tour and I knew they would. I knew they'd play around here. I mean, sure. I'm curious to see if they're sober or not. That's always interesting.
Yeah. No, probably not. Why?
They were the last time I saw them last year. They were nice and plump. They were definitely sober.
That's so funny. I've seen them
their fucking asses off.
I've seen them both.
Yeah.
And it's always better. It's always better when the singer's not sober. It's always better when they're on drugs.
I like it better. I always forget who's who, but I like it when the guitar players. So I don't care. I honestly don't give a shit. I know they played for like 3 hours. The last time I saw them, and I was like, cool. If you're sober and you're able to do this, great. Like that's what I like. I don't give a shit if you're high and you play for 3 hours. That's fine too. Just play for 3 hours. That's all.
Right. Yeah.
I want it. Yeah, I want it. Well, if you're playing for 3 hours, you're jamming. You know what I mean? You're not. Well, like Elton, like seeing. There's 2 types of big tours out there. There's those big stadium tours where everything is choreographed and you wear a bracelet. Everybody wears a bracelet. And then the singer wears some sort of flying apparatus to do a Peter Pan so that the people in the cheap seats feel like they got an experience because they're not that cheap anymore. There's that show. And then there's fuck the lights, give me my guitar, we'll figure it out who's got some blow. Both are headliners, both play a different set. But the one on Blow, the one that has no lights and no flying apparatus, they'll probably do a 3-hour set for you. That's what I like. I don't care. It's choreographed, It's like someone's like, okay, and the song ends now. And wardrobe change, here we go. It's like, what are we watching, a Disney special? Come on. And they do that any big fucking stadium show where there's a catwalk and millionaires making sure that the shit happens. And that's okay. But I don't like it when I saw Elton John twice. It was the same show. A year later, same set list, same show, same videos, same everything, the exact same. And I was like, really? And my dad's like, he's like, what? You think he's like, they're going to fucking change anything? They got it all figured out. He's like, they got the lights, they got the videos. It's all choreographed. They push play.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, and plus, like, a year later, he probably didn't even go home. He's probably just still on tour.
He's getting ready to do his 3rd and last leg of this tour, and it's still called the Farewell Yellow Brick Road Tour. I would go see it again. I don't want to see that again because I've seen it twice. But if he's like throwing a couple of new songs in,
right,
I'd be in. But he's not. So I'm like, that's cool. you know, but I'm not going to go watch it again. I've seen it. I have it saved on my Spotify. I'll just play the shit, you know? I won't have somebody standing in front of me in some white denim jacket spilling wine all over the place. So, whatever. It always happens to me, man. Some dickhead in front of me. What? What? Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm going to go listen to this in my car. Sounds better.
See, like when I was growing up, like when I got into music, I was really young, and we were I like grew up like going to punk shows and small shows. And see, I said small show, that was never entered my brain that big shows existed. Like
Right.
was like big state like stadium. Like I know people that only go to like when they go to a show, they expect to see a big stadium show with big thing. And like, and to me growing up, like I didn't even know that was a thing. I was like, this is a show. I had beer spilled on me. I probably got into a fight. There's my mohawk's all floppy now. Like there's like some punk rock band that just spit on us. Like my friend just beat up the drummer. Like that's what I thought a show was. Like maybe I went to the show, but I didn't end up doing it because I got too drunk in the opening act's van. Like, you know what I mean? So like that's what I thought. And then I got a little older and I was like, wait, yeah, there's like these like big pyrotechnics and huge shows with thousands of people in the audience. Like, I'm like, that's a thing. I thought a show was yeah, there's a cover at the front door, but you sneak in the back and then you hide and you get in the free. Maybe you get kicked out because you got caught drinking and you're only 16. So, like,
right.
Now you get in fight with a bouncer and then you put his shirt on and now you work there. So,
Fun night. I don't think, the first shows I went to were like, I don't know, they were maybe in the middle. I remember seeing Willie Nelson when I was a kid, like outside. My parents said it was on the back of a flatbed pickup truck. Like someone just pulled up. That was the stage, and Willie, played, and I got bit by fire ants, like really bad. That was shit like that. So I don't remember. My first show was probably Bon Jovi and Van Halen, and it was for my birthday. It was like my 15th birthday. I remember because my dad said, "If you buy the tickets, I'll take you." And I was like, "Are you Jewish?" But whatever. I mean, who the fuck makes the birthday person buy their ticket and the other ticket too? But anyway. So we watched it. I remember that show because we didn't go to the bathroom and we didn't eat anything and we didn't drink anything. This is my dad. I swear to God, he's still like this. If you don't bring up eating, he probably won't do it. And it's like, dude, I'm fucking starving. It's been 3 days. Can we eat? But so I just remember sitting there and I wasn't excited about either one of those bands. Honestly, didn't really care for Van Halen or Bon Jovi that much. But Ugly Kid Joe was in the middle and they tore it up. Like this was 92, 93, I guess. I don't know. At the Wembley Arena, giant fucking arena in England, huge. And they just had a big stage and we were really far away. But I remember seeing that mosh pit. I remember Ugly Kid Joe doing their thing. And I was like, right. Can I go in there? And he's like, fuck no. And I'm like, and from then on out, like I was like, I don't want to go to shows with my dad anymore. So when I got into high school, all I wanted to do, I don't care how big it was, how big of a show, whatever. I knew the bands that I liked. I wanted to be in the pit. And that's the only thing I ever did. So when I was in high school, I went to Corrosion of Conformity. The first time my friends took me to a show. And that's probably the first time that I was hanging around people on meth, but I didn't know. I mean, not at the show. I mean, like in the car. We were in a Buick Celebrity. The people they were like 10 years older than me, they just thought I was cool, but they were like banging up lines on the dashboard. And I'm just like, look, a new town. I was all naive and like 17. I went to Corrosion of Conformity, and I just remember my friend, like this chick who already had like 3 kids. I think she was like 19. I don't know. Total punk rocker. Had all these piercings and shit in her face. Good friend of mine. Taught me how to steal from restaurants while we worked at them. Good person. I just remember she's like, come on, man, let's go. And she like runs in. And as soon as she runs in, I just see her hair, but not her body, like fly in the air. And then she comes back and she's swinging her own sneaker. She's like, stay the fuck off of me. And I'm just like, I never went in. I was like, that was it for me. I was like, she went in and came out swinging a sneaker. Like, I'm not going in there. I don't know what's going on in there. So I watched my first pit. I remember like you know how a pit works? Like, you know how a pit works. Everybody's moving around. And then there's a wall of people who don't want to get involved, but they want to watch. The
Yeah.
same people that slow down at accidents, you know, like, yeah. So I was standing there, but people kept pushing me. Like, and I would go into and I'm like, ah! And I turn around and like run back, clamoring for someone. Like, don't let me get beat up and killed with my own sneakers. So I don't remember. I think it was probably Rob Zombie or something a year later when I was like the guy that would drive my car 90 miles on a school night to another town to see Rob Zombie play. And he was playing at arenas. And the only thing with those shows, though, is like the extra shit they put on stage didn't seem ginormous. He wasn't flying around. He just
Right.
had his, like, you know, just his Rob Zombie shit, couple of screens and lights, whatever. That's fine, but always a good pit. And it's GA. I like shows that are GA. As big as you can get, that's fine, but GA, where it's just, it's on. Do whatever you want here.
Yeah, it's open. Yeah.
It's not so much like that anymore. Like if we went and saw Rammstein, you'd have to buy a $200 seat.
Yeah, that'd be. See, that's the thing is, I would love to see that band, and like that was just an example, but yeah, I don't know if I want to do that. That's a lot of money just to stand in one spot.
Well, I was curious because I remember, well, we saw Red Hot Chili Peppers, but you and I went and saw the Chili Peppers together one time, and well, I'm not gonna. Let's just say I haven't seen them live since, and I don't really listen to their stuff. But in any case, the way that they pack into those places, you know, the big venues, like the Moda Center or anywhere like around here where they put on the big ass inside concerts, you're in there and you're in there fucking tight, and it's not that great. You can't move. You stand at like a 45-degree angle, and you just
Yeah, you
that's
have to
it.
like put your body like that. You have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, and then watch and hope to God that the person in front of you isn't annoying or whatever, because that's all you've got. And I don't dig that too much. So it's hard to go see the Deftones or Rammstein, but you know, a fucking choice. Like that's it. That's where we're playing. So it's
Right.
like you just sit down and grab popcorn. Like I'm watching death metal. Here we go. That's different.
Speaking of music, I think it's about time to talk about it,
Yeah,
huh?
fuck it, man. I didn't get stoned today. Some little monk just jabbering on over here, but whatever.
um, yeah,
Yeah. So anyway,
baby.
yeah, we for music this week we picked Creedence Clearwater Revival's their first album. Hang on one second. Might as well grab it. This one. Kind of hard to read.
Yeah.
It's fucking cool. So yeah, self-titled. And I'll go ahead real quick because turns out they didn't make a whole lot of records. Found out today. Songs are I Put a Spell on You, The Working Man, and Susie Q. And then 99 and a half, which this whole album's great to me. Get Down Woman, Porterville, Gloomy, and Walk on Water. And I think it's one of these is a real fucking jam. I can't remember which one, but awesome record. Like the whole thing. I listened to it over and over again.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
That was great, man. Definitely songs I've heard before. You know, like because I was thinking like, especially this album, there's like so many songs on there that are still used today in movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like CCR is like the war movie band.
Yep.
You know, like I just like I listen to them, and then sometimes in my head I have like just a not any particular movie, but just like a video of like a helicopter flying over a jungle.
Yep, exactly.
Just like that's just like
People
just,
hanging off the side in green camis and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
Susie Q.
that's just what I see, you know. And yeah,
Get some, get some, get some.
Susie Q is definitely probably my favorite song on that album for sure. And then after that, I would say Walking on Water and Get Down Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know, all of them are great.
Yeah, it's really hard to say. Yeah. But the reason I like this album, and this is their first, full length, Susie Q is an 8.5-minute jam.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on that same side, I Put a Spell on You, which I mean, obviously is a cover. I'm not sure who came up with it first, but that's a hell of a fucking song. I put a
Yeah,
spell on. I mean, I was like,
and,
I was
and
listening to Steph and was listening to it with Steph, and she was like, "Oh, this is a cover," and I was like, "Yeah, it is, isn't it?" But it's so fucking, it's so theirs. They play it like they wrote it. That's how
right,
it sounds to me. It's like doesn't remind me of anything else. It's fucking good. Yeah,
and they
this is a
kick off
great
their
fucking record.
yeah, and they kick off their fucking the first song on their debut on their first album is a cover, and it's that song, and they fucking they kill it.
Right, and then Susie Q is one of their own. Well, wait, is that a cover too?
I don't think so. I mean,
All right.
maybe it
Well,
might
that's
be,
a fucking jam. I mean, in any
might be.
case, this record's awesome. But here's what I found out that blew my mind today. I've looked them up a little bit. They were actually only known as Creedence Clearwater Revival, as like that was their their final name, of course, for 4 years. That's it. That's as long as they were a band. They had
Hmm.
like 11 fucking number ones. They're still like their greatest hits record is still like with the top 50 top selling albums of all time. They were
Yeah,
only a band for like they were a couple other bands like they were called the Pollywogs right before that, and they were like
right,
just begging for anything else. So they became Credence, and this was their first record. Put a few out, and that's it. 72, it was all over, and they chose to sing about Vietnam, like being down on the Mississippi River. Shit, that's what they sang about. And
right.
that's but 4 years. That's why I was always wondering, like, why are all their shit, all their songs about Vietnam? Be like, because that is all their songs. They
Yeah,
only recorded like through the Vietnam era, and that was it. So they're
right.
like a place in time. That band captured a place in time, and that's it. So whenever you do hear fucking Credence, it makes sense. You're like, yeah, we've been Vietnam, man, because that's every guy, like even the Big Lebowski, like he talks Walter the whole time. He's
Yeah,
talking about Vietnam, and they love Credence. But yeah, the band, they were only a band for they were Credence for 4 years, and they broke up. And why did they break up? Fucking just bullshit record contracts. These awesome musicians only stayed together as Credence for 4 years because of just money and bullshit.
yeah. It's that's how it goes sometimes, or a lot
Right.
of times.
But for 4 years, and they've sold so many fucking records. It's like, damn, you couldn't figure it out. Like, be a band for. I mean, the royalties are probably still really good.
Oh, I'm sure.
But
I'm
the
sure.
music's fucking great. I love that sound. I like that. The interesting thing to me is that they got that southern rockabilly sound, blues, country, all that. But they came out of California, out of San
Yeah,
Francisco.
yeah. They're from the Bay Area. Yeah.
Isn't that great? That fucked me up. I'm like, well, it makes sense to me that Skinner, sings what they sing because they lived it. But these guys, it doesn't sound like they did so much. I was like, how the fuck?
Well, they were just like that was the
Like the genre at the time,
yeah,
or
that was the pop music of that era kind of thing. That's what
well,
it
they
seemed.
were, yeah. The articles were saying how more people were going towards like a little bit more trippy, like because they were there with the Dead at the same time. Hell, they headlined. They were the first headliner booked for Woodstock, so they were like
Huh,
one of the only trippy, non-trippy bands. They jam, but they're not psychedelic.
right. You
So it
could,
was
yeah. I
interesting.
mean, you could trip out to it for sure, but it's not
Fuck
like
yeah.
they're not like magic mushroom fucking all like on the
No,
heroin like
no.
that. Like,
There wasn't dancing shrooms on stage, which there
yeah,
are some bands who have that. No, it wasn't like that. But they just, yeah, you could smoke a joint and jam the fuck out. Absolutely. But I just like these guys came out of San Francisco the same time the Dead did and went a completely different direction. Killed it for 4 years and then said, fuck the lawyers, we're out.
right. Eh,
Like, right on, man. I can
well,
dig that.
I mean, they still had like I don't know about the whole band, but like they still had careers after that, so they're still
Yeah.
like anyways.
I didn't even really realize who the two brothers were. I'm bad with names and everything else. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
got it. They played solo, didn't they? Yeah, definitely. Toured. Didn't
A-
those guys tour solo and shit? I think one of them still does.
After?
Yeah, and like yeah, they still
Yeah, yeah,
played live. They just didn't play as them as CCR.
yeah, yeah. They still have like their solo careers for sure. Yeah, they're legends. So
Yeah, they
they
probably just play the songs because they legally can, or whatever they can.
right
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, that was good, man. A good
Yeah,
summertime record.
yeah, definitely good pick. I'm glad you picked that one. Yeah, it's a great album. Good songs, still good today.
Fuck
fucking
yeah, man. Like you
four
said, it's a reference all over the place. They've only made like 4 or 5 albums, if even that many, and they're in everything.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's like how old? Over like that album's over 40 years old. You
Yeah,
know?
it's like 68. Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. And people are good music sticks around. That's all there is to it.
Totally. So all right. So yeah, it's my turn.
Hmm.
Did we? I want to go in a little different direction. Did we ever talk about the Bo Burnham comedy special on Netflix?
The first one or the new one he did?
The new one he did
We've talked about it. You talked about it. I
on here.
watched. I saw some of it. Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
You mentioned it. We didn't talk. We didn't watch it and talk about it. It
All
wasn't
right.
an
Well,
assignment.
all right. That's the one I'm going to pick for next week. It is Bo Burnham Inside. It's his newest one on Netflix. Most people have seen it by now. It's on Netflix, still on Netflix. Check it out. Bo Burnham Inside. So, and it's a combination of two. He does musical comedy, so it's a good fit for us. If you're not familiar with him, everyone, kind of think Weird Al ish.
Yeah,
Not
modern Weird Al. Absolutely. It's kind of hard to see him coming because he's so laid back, and then he
right.
just gives it to you. But yeah, good choice, man. So yeah, Netflix. I think most of you cats have it, so check it out. Go burn them inside.
All right, cool. Well,
That being said,
we did it.
yeah, man, did it again. We just keep on doing it. Only because you guys keep watching. However many of you are, I don't even want to know. 3, 4, 4.5. It's cool.
About that.
It's hot. I get it. You don't want to sit inside and watch this shit. Or that doesn't matter to me. I keep doing it because I like it. Appreciate you guys supporting us. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have a suggestion, we're here. Throw it our way. We'll talk about it. Whatever.
Yeah. Pick a band. Make sure it's in particular is an album, and then we'll talk about it. We'll review it. We'll give our honest opinion. We'll be nice, but we'll be honest. So yeah, slip us a line, and yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're good. You guys have a good week. Stay cool out there, and hopefully Alex doesn't wear his arms out so bad, so he can push play. Record.
Yeah, you gotta like,
There you go. All right. Till next week. Everybody take it easy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait a minute. Shit.
All right.
Still recording.